Boys and girls, as Mr. Colburn mentioned, we have some very, very special guests with us this morning, and it is my pleasure to introduce Mr. Dan Buzide. Mr. Buzide is from the Windsor Historical Society. So let's give him a round of applause, please.
Teresa, teachers, children, and any parents that are here. I feel it's an honor to be able to be here today to speak to you, to let you know what we do so we can keep on the remembrance of the veterans. On the 21st of the month of November, we had a dedication of the First World War monument on Ypres and near Hall Avenue. And it was 14 of your young students from this here school that came and assisted us. The reason why we're here today is to tell you the importance of what a veteran is. A veteran is someone who, for their loyalty and the patriotic part of their life, when their country needs them, they're willing to put their life on the line for the veterans. Always appreciate the veteran. There is a slogan: if you love your freedom, thank a veteran. A lot of you don't know why we wear the poppy. We wear the poppy to remember those of our comrades and our friends who went to war and didn't come back. And those that did come back, they have since passed on. The poppy now, quite often you'll see the poppy on different parts of the body. The poppy should never be worn except on your left side over your heart. The only ones that wear it anywhere else is on their hats, and that's someone in uniform. So if any time during the poppy campaign, you should never have it like on your, sometimes you see it on their belts, on their shoes. The proper place to honor your veterans and honor your country is over your heart. The dedication we had at the Memorial Park on the 21st of November was to honor those of people from Windsor. There was 837 of them who went to war, they were killed and never came back. And we thought it only fitting that even after all these years that the monument should be restored, and we have placed their names. You should ask your parents or whoever you're with to take you down to show you the monument. It's quite a historical monument. It's got 837 names of people that fought for your freedom and for our freedom. Each year we put out a veterans magazine to honor our veterans. This is our 7th year. We also have what we call a Veterans Appreciation Day. The veterans, we put on a banquet for them, and the veterans eat free, and their spouses pay a small token. Each year is getting better. This year I think it was 750 veterans and their spouses who we honored at the Serving Club on November 11th after the parade downtown. As the years go by and you get older, I'm hoping that the act of remembrance at the downtown cenotaph on November the 11th will continue, and that you will try your best to attend to honor those who fought for your freedom. I would like at this time to introduce Wayne Hillman, who is continuing on my work in honoring the veterans, especially when they pass on, and he's doing a fantastic job. So this is Wayne Hillman, who fought in the Vietnam War, and he will explain what he did.
Good morning. Larry's a little bit too humble to speak about his sacrifices during World War II, but I want everyone to know, all the students, teachers, parents if they are here, that Larry and his group who served in World War II, Korea, and peacekeeping units are my heroes. These guys went to war before I did, and they are the people that we are remembering from the World Wars, okay? There are 116,000 Canadians served in World War I and World War II in Korea that were killed in action. Those are the guys that we all remember on Remembrance Day. In the past couple of months, I was speaking at another school, and a student asked me, when was I in Vietnam? The answer I gave, my feet left Vietnam December 31st, 1965, but I visited Vietnam last night. In other words, what I'm trying to say is I never forget. I never forget the horrors of the war. I never forget my friends that we lost in the war. 116,000 Canadians in World War I, World War II in Korea, 128 Canadians in the Vietnam War. A lot of people say, why were the Canadians in Vietnam? The Canadians were in Vietnam because we volunteered to serve with the American forces to stop communism in that area of the world. So 128 Canadians were killed, 6 of them from Windsor. Down on the riverfront, almost right underneath the bridge, is the Canadian Vietnam Veterans Memorial. Anybody get a chance to go down and see that? It's a very moving and solemn area. In July, in fact this year it's going to be on June the 28th. Anybody that's in the area, please come down. We have a memorial service, and it'd be nice to see a lot of the kids there. We have been receiving a lot of children at the outings in the last couple of years. Not to forget our Afghanistan veterans. We just lost 3 more there last week, and now a total of 100 have been killed of our brave men and women who served with the Canadian forces in Afghanistan. I had the opportunity this last Saturday to attend a Christmas party for the children of the soldiers that are currently serving in Afghanistan from the Windsor, Essex County area. And it was very moving that there was a lot of children there, but their dads or mothers were not there. They were serving overseas. I had the opportunity to talk to one young girl and asked her what she would like for Christmas. What would she like Santa Claus to bring her? And her answer was, I'd like you to bring my dad home safely. So remember, you kids down here in the front and all over the auditorium here, remember our soldiers that are serving in a war-torn area at Christmas time. They need our help. They need our assistance. I used to, some 40 some odd years ago, I used to go to school right here in this very facility. At that time it was called W.D. Lowe Vocational School, Technical School. And there's a lot of fond memories right here in this particular building. This gym wasn't here, but I do remember the building. But after I got out of school, there was no work in Windsor. And my brother was already serving in the American forces, and he had a nice uniform, and he was over in Germany. I contemplated going in the Canadian service, but I opted to go to the American service because I get more travel, and I wanted to see the world. Well, I sure did. I served 2 years stateside, 2.5 years stateside, and then I was home on leave. My wife had just given birth to our first child, a little boy, and I was home on leave visiting my son and my wife, and I got a call from Fort Campbell, Kentucky, where I was stationed, that I had to go back to camp right away. I was leaving for Vietnam. Well, I only had 6 months left to go in the Army, and I had a big decision I had to make. The decision was, would I stay in Canada with my family, or would I go and do the duty I signed up to do? Like any good soldier, I went back to the United States and went to Fort Campbell, Kentucky, and on to Vietnam from there. When we hit the beaches of Vietnam, and it's not the way they hit the beaches in World War II or in Korea, we landed safely, and we walked over to the airfield and were loaded onto a helicopter. And remember, we were only 19 and 20 years old. We're just kids. Not much older than some of the grade 8 students that are here today. Not much older. If there are grade 8 students here? Yeah. So you're probably 11, 12, 13 years old. Remember, I was only 5 years older than you were when I was going to war. And that first helicopter ride inland to where our home base was, we were attacked. We took small arms fire, and believe me, I've never been so scared of anything in my life. I was terrified to death. Like the guys that were storming the beaches at Dieppe, storming the beaches at Normandy. It was very, very important. Larry Costello's birthday is today, and he's 84 years old. And I think it'd be appropriate if we sing happy birthday to Larry. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Larry. Happy birthday to you.
Every student will get a copy of the magazine. Take it home and read it. Share it with your parents and your family. It's very, very good. It'll tell you a lot of the things that Mr. Costello and Mr. Noonan just told you. There's also a souvenir of the dedication at Memorial Park. The Lucky 14 up here, theirs is in color. Yours is still beautiful. It's in black and white. Your teachers will give you one before you leave today, okay? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Costello. Thank you, Mr. Buzide and Mr. Hillman, for your presence this morning and for sharing your story with us. And as Olivia summed it up, you are our true heroes. Boys and girls, let's give them a round of applause, please.